Hi, and welcome to Self-Care 101. That sounds like a good title, right? Today I am simply going to show you how I work through my depression, and one of those ways is creating. I got into art therapy. Oh my goodness, I need to do some hand workouts. That's my glue. Got into art therapy after years and years of other types of therapy. Just kind of didn't really work that great for me. So I started creating. I started trying to find a creative outlet, and this is what I came across. So first off, I'm just going to kind of glue down my page. I put a lot of glue. I use a lot of glue. I know I talk about that in all of my videos. A lot of people don't use a lot of glue. I like it, so I use it. So I'm just going to kind of glue down some parts of a circle that I have cut out here. Some little half circles, and then I've cut them, into quarters and such. They are not perfect. Nothing about these circles is perfect. I'm probably going to be doing some overlapping while I try to figure out what exactly I want. This guy, but I want him smaller, so I'm just going to kind of hand tear him because I don't know. I don't think that most things are perfect, so it doesn't bother me having torn up paper. If it does bother you, then by all means cut it. Make it the way you make it in a way that makes you happy. That might actually look better. Yeah, I like that better. So you should just rip that one off, but I'm not gonna. I'm just gonna go right over the top of it because I'm not going to stress. And I'm just gonna pick a few little pieces here and kind of glue them down. That is my starter for my page. In addition to that, I have some other kind of sloppy cut circles. And I'm probably I just feel like maybe I want to glue them on here and there. I'm not really sure. That's what I'm gonna do. You can see I'm putting glue over onto this next page on accident. I don't care. Does not bother me in the least. And then I use a small circle cutter, and I cut some little circles. Some are cut off, some are complete circles. And I'm just gonna glue these little guys down here and there across my page. He needs more glue. Again, I don't care if things are perfect or not. This is literally just a page to help me feel better once in a while. Kind of audition little pieces of paper here and there. That one says adventure. I like that. That's sweet. This is a little piece of brick. Sorry, my dog is below me with a bone, and she's so loud. So here's just to give you a good idea of how I start a page, at least how I'm starting today's page. So I've got some different papers glued down. Really easy peasy, really simple. I'm gonna go ahead and put my glue away. And now I'm gonna add some paint. I'm gonna add some paint, some pink and some turquoise. Okay, so I've got a little bit of turquoise, and sometimes I plan this out and sometimes I don't. It just kind of depends on the day and where I'm at. This is a really messy brush I use all the time. It's my glue brush, but I'm just gonna use it to be sloppy. So I'm gonna work some colors around in here, and just, if you're in a really bad mood, just get those colors in there. And if, just do what feels good. Don't put too much thought into this. Again, I could put a piece of paper here to protect that, but I don't do that. I know some people do, and they're really good about it. I'm I'm not like some people, I guess. So I could clean my brush, but I'm not going to. I'm just going to kind of smear some of the pink around in here now, which when it mixes with that turquoise, you kind of get a little bit of a lavender hue. So there is a good starting point. Now I'm going to dry this. Hold on. All right, so now I have that dry mostly, and I'm going to go ahead and add some brown because I've got these browns in here and I don't feel like this is very cohesive. So to do that, just what I do every single time, I'm just going to drip some, what is this, golden brown down here. And if I had a palette knife, I would just use that to smear it around. My palette knife has gone missing. So, you know what, get your fingers in here, get messy, get some healing time, like when you're a kid and you play in the mud, and just really get in there. Other things, gardening are really great for self-care. Anything where you're just really getting down and dirty and getting those frustrations out. And so I'm just kind of smeared that brown around a little bit. Now I have a darker color brown, chocolate sprinkles. And I'm gonna do the same thing. Just a tiny little drip. Actually, that's gonna smear a lot. And we're going to work it around. And you see, I'm kind of avoiding this, but not totally avoiding it. So I do want to have some white space. So you're gonna see me kind of come in and add some white in a little bit because I filled this page up a little bit too much, I feel like, for me. One thing you can do, sometimes you maybe you don't want a color where you put it. You just kind of scrape over it and you can move the colors and for a little bit. So kind of got a little bit of that off. And it also adds a nice little bit of texture. Now, like I had mentioned, I feel like I need some white. I'm going to put some white right here. Guess how? Yes, that's exactly how. Get my hands dirty. White paint does not want to come out. This is just a basic multi-surface white paint. I think it's what is it? Apple Barrel, really cheap paint. I am very good with really cheap paint. Remember we talked before about how, you know, I could go back behind and have something protecting this page, but in a way it's kind of already just starting to work for me. So I'm all good. I don't mind the drips going onto another page. I think for me, it's just very much who I am. Life spreads over into other portions of life, right? That sounds so deep. I'm going to use this little sponge here, and I'm just going to kind of work this around a little bit to get rid of any great big globs. And I want to pull some of this white over here, but very little. I don't want a lot. All right. So I feel like we have a pretty decent base right now. So I'm going to pause this and dry it. Okay, so that's dry, and I'm thinking about adding a stencil. And I was trying to decide. I have like these little, what are they, mandalas? But I think it might carry the circle over too much. So I'm going to just do some basic stripes. Pardon my arm here. I'm going to just pick up some hot pink because I want something a little bit brighter with my stencil brush. And I'm just going to add in a couple lines. There's really not a lot of thought that goes into this. While I'm doing my work, I kind of look around and think, it needs something somewhere. What does it need? Where does it need it? And that's just where I put it. Like I said, not a tremendous amount of thought. Now I'm going to move my palette down here so I can work a little easier with it. Another big thing that I usually do are drips. I like drips. I like sloppy drips on pages. So I'm just going to grab some black paint, just a little bit of black paint, just like I've been doing this whole time, and some water. And I'm going to kind of make an inky, sloppy, messy bit of paint. And all I'm going to do is tap it around the page. Now I want my dark focused over here. And sometimes you can give it a little bit of help. Ooh. That was a big glob, wasn't it? Kind of like that, though. Okay. when they also bid that. If you don't like that, there are ways that you can remedy it. Number one, you can pick it up. If you want to, you can give it a spray with some water. It'll make it a little bit drippy. It's just kind of dependent on what you want. I just wanted to show you that. So you've got your black. Now, I also really like to do the exact same thing, but with the white. I feel like, black and white are like, I don't know, salt and pepper. You really need them to spice things up. You really need them to give defining qualities. That's my opinion. That's just my opinion. I don't know. It kind of sounds deep though, right? I'm going to do the same thing that I did with the black, but I'm going to use some white over towards the edge here where I wanted the brightness. And do some lighter here. And again, we're going to pause it and I'm going to dry it. Okay, I'm back. I just dipped my arm in paint. So I was going to show you today, right now, I'm feeling probably about 27% anxious, which you can't actually see. Let's see, 27% anxious and 45% calm. The reason I'm anxious is, number one, my daughter's dog is sitting at my feet licking her paw. And it's just sending me into this on edge mode. But you know what? It's all good because she's a sweet dog and she took care of my daughter. Also, I have this robe that I've worn for years and years and years. It's Rose Boutique. It's the Fight Club robe, basically. And I just dipped my whole arm in paint. So, oh well, that's, you know what? That's me. So now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to use my Stabilo All. This is one of my favorite pencils. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to outline kind of my pie chart. That's why I have the percentage of anxious and calm. So I'm just going to kind of really messily outline my pie chart. You know? And then I'm also going to maybe, you know, circle some of my little circles here. I'm not real sure what my thought process is. I'm just kind of moving around the page. So that is the Stabilo All. I don't know if you guys have this, and I definitely, you know, they don't ask me to do ads for them or anything like that, but I cannot tell you how much I love this pencil. Now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to dip my brush in some water, and I'm going to kind of activate this color and see how bright and bold, and the lines are not so... They weren't perfect anyway, because nothing I do is ever perfect. But here we go. So we've got some nice colors here. And I'm going to go ahead and wipe my brush off on my page, because why not? All right. So I'm pretty close to being done. What I would do is I would be looking around my page and seeing anything that needs... I can't think of the word right now. It's not focus, but anything that maybe needs something to it. So generally speaking, these big brown chunks, I feel like it's just such a heavy duty brown chunk. I'm not really happy with it. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to pick up a Posca pen, a paint pen. Any white paint pen will work. And I'm just going to kind of put some little marks through here. And it's just going to, oh my goodness, that dog. And it's just going to kind of lighten up the page. Lighten up that area a little bit. And when I do this, I look around for the browns that are solo, that are just kind of by themselves. So, and wherever I see that, pardon my arm, I can't figure out a good way to do this. Anywhere where I just see the brown. And that's my other dog who heard me talking and she wants to figure out who the heck I'm talking to. Millie, stop. Okay. So we've got that. Now, I talked about the 27% anxious and the 45% calm. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this old book page and I'm just going to start stamping. 27. Mill, stop. 40. And I don't, you know, this is a little stamp set that it came with a piece that you attach the whole thing to. I never take the time to do that. I also didn't find my N, so I'm just going to use an upside down U. And X. I have to spell it as I go, otherwise I will misspell it. 27% anxious. And I am 45% calm. If the dog would stop licking her paw, I would probably be about 90% calm and 10% coffee. So there are my words. Now I will be attaching these words on this page. So you want to go ahead and rip. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to rip these words out. I just use a ruler. I don't have a tearing ruler. This is just a metal ruler. What is it? $3.99 at Hobby Lobby. Just going to kind of rip your pages, rip these down. You can tear them by hand. You can tear them. You can, do whatever works best for you. Tear them neat. Tear them sloppy. This is your journal, and we want you to find what works best for you. Guys, it took me so long to find what my style was. So here we go. 27% anxious, 45% calm. Now, we're going to pick up some glue if I can get this open. And remember how I like to dip my fingers and everything? That's me. Got my fingers all gluey. I don't care if the colors run too much. I don't care if I bend up the paper too much. So 27% anxious and 45% calm. It's kind of like a weather report, right? So we're going to kind of glue this little guy down. Now, generally speaking, I would go ahead and stamp the date on here, but I'm not doing that yet. Simply because I don't want to reach for my date stamp. But I would dry this off. So pretend that it's dry. I don't want to pause my thing again. And again, I would take my Stabilo All and I would just kind of, give it some depth. Give it some oomph to these words. And again, go ahead and dip in some water just to kind of liven up that black, activate that color. And we're going to go ahead and scoop that color off. And you guys, voila, here we go. This is my self-care page. I really hope you enjoyed it, and I'm really, really glad you joined me today.